On October 14, 1978, a man wrote something in his journal that should not exist. There was no panic in his words, no urgency, no confusion, only a quiet, controlled sentence. It has started watching back. 3 days later, that journal was found, abandoned inside a remote research facility, buried deep within a forest that most maps didn't even acknowledge. The doors were still locked, the equipment was still running, the lights were still on, but the people were gone. No bodies, no signs of struggle, no evidence of escape. Only scratches, hundreds of them, etched into the walls, the ceilings, even the inside of sealed doors. And every clock inside the building had stopped at exactly 3:17 a.m. The official explanation was simple: an accident, a failed evacuation, a forgotten incident buried under paperwork and silence. But hidden within fragments of erased files and testimonies never meant to be heard, there is another story. A story about something that never moved, never spoke, never appeared, and yet it watched. Black Hollow Forest sits on the outskirts of a nearly abandoned town called Ridgway, Montana, a place where winters stretch too long and silence feels heavier than it should. The trees there grow unusually tall. Their bark is dark, almost charred, as if something burned long ago, but never left. Locals don't tell stories about monsters. They don't speak of legends or myths. They simply avoid the forest, not out of fear, but out of understanding, because something about that place feels wrong. In early 1978, a private research organization known as Orion Biophysical Group acquired a restricted section of land deep within Black Hollow. Officially, their purpose was harmless: environmental observation, acoustic pattern analysis, behavioral studies in isolated ecosystems. But Orion was not a public institution. It operated quietly, through indirect funding channels, shielded by layers of contracts that led nowhere. No one asked questions. The lead researcher assigned to the site was Dr. Elias Varnum, a respected behavioral scientist known for his work on perception, isolation, and the limits of human awareness. He was not easily disturbed, not easily convinced, which is why what happened next matters. Varnum's team was small. Dr. Miriam Kessler, a neurologist specializing in cognitive response, Thomas Hale, an acoustic engineer with experience in low-frequency sound mapping, and Lydia Cross, a field technician responsible for environmental monitoring, and 2 unnamed security personnel listed only as observers. The facility was built quickly, too quickly. Within 3 weeks, Outpost 17B stood complete. No local contractors were recorded, no shipments logged, and yet the structure was there, fully operational, deep inside a forest that barely existed on paper. At first, everything seemed normal: routine data, predictable readings. But then small inconsistencies began to appear. Low-frequency sounds were detected between midnight and dawn. Not loud, not aggressive, just present. Dr. Kessler began reporting headaches among the team. Thomas Hale recorded audio that disappeared on playback. And Lydia Cross described something no instrument could measure. She said the forest felt aware, not visually, not physically, but mentally, as if the act of standing in certain places triggered the sensation of being watched. At first, Varnum dismissed it. Isolation affects perception. Silence creates illusions. The human mind fills empty spaces. But then, Varnum began noticing something himself, something he could not explain. It began on November 3, 1978, at exactly 3:17 a.m. Every device inside Outpost 17B activated at once, without input, without warning. Audio recorders, cameras, thermal sensors, all of them turned on. What they captured was silence, total silence. No wind, no movement, no sound from the forest. Then something changed. Every camera inside the facility shifted, slowly, almost gently, as if something was guiding their focus. One by one, they aligned, pointing toward a single room, the observation chamber. When the team reviewed the footage, they found something impossible. For exactly 17 seconds, there was something in the room. It had no shape, no form. It didn't move, it didn't emit heat, but it was there, a distortion, like reality itself, bending inward. And then it disappeared. Varnum's journal entries changed after that. They became fragmented, uncertain. It is not appearing, it is aligning. It does not enter, it selects. The team began to deteriorate. Thomas Hale stopped speaking completely. Lydia Cross refused to walk through certain parts of the facility. Dr. Kessler began recording her thoughts constantly, as if afraid they would vanish if left unspoken. And Varnum started mapping, not the building, but sight lines, angles, positions. He believed something he never fully explained, that whatever they had recorded was not inside the facility, it was observing it. The investigation began on November 10, 1978, but by then, it was already too late. Outpost 17B was empty. No bodies, no footprints, no signs of departure. Only the journals and the scratches, hundreds of them, cut deep into every surface. At first glance, random, chaotic, but they weren't. When analyzed, the scratches formed patterns, precise, calculated. They aligned perfectly with Varnum's final diagrams. An analyst named Daniel Reeves later leaked fragments of the report. According to him, the patterns represented lines of sight, not from inside the building, but from outside, from multiple positions at once. Witnesses from nearby Ridgeway, Montana, reported strange occurrences, lights in the forest at night, moments of disorientation, a feeling of being observed. One man described it in a way investigators couldn't explain. It wasn't watching like a person watches. It was watching like something learning how to see. The final piece of evidence was an audio recording. Dr. Kessler's voice, calm at first, measured, controlled. Then something changes. It's not outside anymore. It's not inside either. It's aligning with us. Then silence. The recording ends with a faint shift, not movement, not sound, a presence. Outpost 17B was never meant to study the forest. It was meant to study perception. Orion Biophysical Group was running a classified experiment, one built on a dangerous theory, that consciousness itself could be observed, not metaphorically, but literally. Their goal was to detect external awareness, to prove that observation could exist beyond the observer. And in doing so, they may have done something else. They created a signal, a pattern, something that could be noticed. And something noticed it. Not a creature, not a being, but a perspective, something that did not exist within space, but could align with it. And once it aligned, it began to learn. The scratches were not damage, they were attempts to replicate perspective, to understand vision, to understand observation. Outpost 17B was dismantled in early 1979, every record sealed, every name erased.
Black Hollow Forest still stands, untouched, unmarked, but recent satellite scans show something unusual. A clearing, perfectly shaped. At its center, nothing. No trees, no shadows, just space. And according to analysis, that space does not reflect light correctly, as if something is still there, still learning, still watching.